Series begins 10 years after Percy Fraser left Barry's Bay behind. She is still haunted by the choices she made there. While attending her best friend Chantal's engagement party in Seattle, she gives a heartfelt speech about love and how difficult it can be to find and hold on to. As everyone celebrates the happy couple, Percy finds herself thinking about Sam Florek, the boy who once meant everything to her. The memories leave her emotional, a reminder that while others have moved forward, part of her is still trapped in the past. After the party, Percy leaves with Jake, a man she has casually been seeing. Before anything can happen, she receives an unexpected phone call from Charlie Florek. It has been 10 years since they last spoke. Charlie delivers devastating news. His mother, Sue, has died from lymphoma. Sue had been like a second mother to Percy during the summers she spent in Barry's Bay. Overwhelmed by guilt and grief, Percy agrees to attend the memorial service. The call unleashes years of buried emotions, and she suffers a panic attack. Chantal later encourages Percy to return to Barry's Bay despite her fears. Percy admits that she has spent years carrying regret over what happened with Sam. She believes she owes it to Sue and herself to finally face the past. Chantal agrees to accompany her for support. The story then flashes back to the summer of 2011, when a young Percy arrives at her family's lakeside cottage for the first time. Excited to explore, she heads straight for the water, where she meets brothers Sam and Charlie Florek. What begins as a simple introduction quickly turns into friendship. Before long, the boys are knocking on her door and inviting her to spend time with them. Percy happily joins them, unaware that these friendships will shape the rest of her life. Back in the present, Percy and Chantal arrive in Barry's Bay. The familiar surroundings immediately bring back memories of Sue and the summers she spent there. Percy takes a walk alone to clear her head and finds herself revisiting places that once meant so much to her. Near the lake, memories of her younger days with Sam return. She remembers opening up about her struggles fitting in and learning more about Sam's life and family. Their early friendship grew through long afternoons spent together, watching movies and sharing stories. Meanwhile, Sam and Charlie continue to struggle with the grief of losing their mother. Resentment surfaces as Sam blames Charlie for not being around enough during Sue's illness. The tension between the brothers reveals wounds that have not yet healed. Percy's return becomes even more uncomfortable when she unexpectedly runs into Delilah Mason. Once connected to the same group of friends, Delilah remained close to the Floreks after Percy disappeared. Their conversation is polite but strained. Delilah makes it clear that everyone will soon know Percy is back in town. Charlie soon arrives and greets Percy warmly, though the reunion only reminds her how much time has passed. At the motel, Percy discovers that even old acquaintances have not forgotten her. Geordie, one of Sam's closest friends, pretends not to recognize her while helping her and Chantal check in. The encounter reinforces Percy's fear that Barry's Bay remembers exactly who she is and what happened all those years ago. Later, while out for a run, Percy catches sight of Sam and instinctively hides. She eventually finds herself near her old summer home, which is now being torn down. The sight overwhelms her. Seeking comfort, she jumps into the lake, but the flood of memories triggers another panic attack. Charlie finds her and helps her back to shore. Percy finally admits that returning has been far harder than she expected. She confesses that she cannot escape her mistakes and asks whether Sam hates her. Charlie offers no answer. At the tavern, Geordie tells Sam that Percy is back in town. Furious, Sam confronts Charlie for inviting her without his knowledge. The argument turns physical before the brothers eventually talk honestly about the past. Charlie reminds Sam that Sue loved Percy and would have wanted her at the memorial. Though reluctant, Sam accepts that she deserves the chance to say goodbye. The conversation brings back memories of Percy and Sam's childhood friendship. During one summer afternoon, Sam opened up about losing his father. Percy listened without judgment and promised he could talk about him whenever he wanted. To show how much their friendship meant to her, she gave him a friendship bracelet. Sam promised he would never take it off. In the present, Percy removes her own bracelet before gathering the courage to visit the tavern. There, she finally comes face to face with Sam for the first time in a decade. The reunion is emotional, with both of them struggling to process everything left unsaid between them. Sam welcomes her and thanks her for coming. For a brief moment, they fall into the easy rhythm they once shared as they wash dishes together. Just as the tension between them begins to soften, reality intervenes. A woman named Taylor arrives at the tavern. Sam greets her warmly and introduces her as his girlfriend. The revelation catches Percy off guard. After spending years imagining what it would be like to see Sam again, she is suddenly forced to confront the fact that his life has moved forward without her. Percy spends the night alone in her motel room, unable to sleep as grief and unresolved emotions keep her awake. She tries to process what she is feeling and attempts to write it down, but nothing comes out clearly. Restless, she leaves and heads to the tavern, entering through a broken window. Sam Florek arrives and immediately teases her for breaking in, joking that some things never change. Despite the past between them, they quickly fall back into familiarity and share a drink while catching up. They return to their old ritual of exchanging 3 updates, taking Percy back to 2012 when Sam first introduced it to stay connected. Percy talks about her struggles and desire to become a writer, while Sam shares his path toward medicine and becoming a doctor. He asks to read her writing, showing he still values her work. He also notices she is no longer wearing her friendship bracelet and brings up their old promise to always remain in each other's lives. The conversation briefly turns to Sue's death and the upcoming memorial. Percy, now an obituary writer, offers to write Sue's obituary, but Sam says Taylor is handling it. The moment highlights how far apart their lives have become. Sam leaves soon after, asking her to lock up. The next morning, Chantal complains about the motel's weak Wi-Fi, clashing lightly with Geordie, who suggests she use his office internet. Later, Percy tells Chantal she and Sam were once very close and admits she misses being important in his life. Percy also tries to help Delilah with memorial preparations, but Delilah shuts her down, telling her to stay out of Sam and Charlie's lives after being absent for years. At the tavern, Sam and Charlie argue over its failing condition. Charlie wants to sell due to constant problems, especially the broken freezer Sam hasn't fixed. Sam defends himself by saying he has been handling Sue's care, but this deepens Charlie's frustration. Delilah arrives, reacts to the condition of the place, and mentions interest in buying it. Charlie asks her to help with ice for the memorial, indirectly involving Percy in collecting it. Chantal and Geordie later spend time together over ice cream after another small argument turns into conversation. Chantal admits fear of being defined only by her wedding and career, while Geordie reveals he gave up his basketball dream. Their vulnerability changes their dynamic and leads to an apology from Chantal. Sam later finds Percy with the ice and offers her a ride. During the drive, they talk about childhood dreams and how life changed. Sam mentions his UCSF medical residency, while Percy reflects on how different her life turned out. A flashback shows Sam once praising Percy's story, Young Blood by the Lake, with Delilah subtly influencing their dynamic. During a truth or dare game, Sam refuses a dare to kiss Percy, and Charlie steps in, creating an emotional shift between them. In the present, Charlie and Delilah end up hooking up at the tavern, complicating relationships further. Geordie later sees Delilah leaving and confronts her about Charlie, but she reveals her marriage to Whit is breaking down. At the Florek house, Percy collects photos for Sue's memorial and meets Taylor, a pediatric surgeon who shares common ground with Sam. In the basement, Taylor's comment about Sam's horror movie collection triggers memories for Percy of their past together. Flashbacks show emotional distance forming after the truth or dare moment, and Sue comforting Percy during a vulnerable time when she panicked after her first period. Sue reassures her, and Sam tells her nothing has changed, even as things already feel different. Back in the present, Percy finds herself in Sam's room and discovers a ring in his closet. Shocked, she calls her mother, breaking down. Her mother blames Sam and Charlie and tells her to come home. As Percy struggles, Sam arrives at her motel room and asks her to spend time with him, leaving their unresolved connection hanging again. In 2013, Percy writes a story while constantly thinking about Sam. That summer, Percy, Sam, and Charlie spend their days at the lake swimming and hanging out, sharing an easy closeness. In private, Delilah pushes Percy to make a move on Sam now that he has gotten hot, while Charlie urges Sam to pursue Percy, fully aware of his feelings. Both Percy and Sam separately insist they don't want to risk ruining their friendship. In the present, Sam asks Percy to help him write Sue's obituary. Percy agrees and helps him sort through his thoughts about his mother, guiding him as he struggles to express himself. Sam mentions Taylor is away for work, and Percy admits she feels intimidated by her. She also downplays her own job, but Sam tells her she helps grieving people find the words they cannot say. Charlie finds them together and asks what they're doing, then leaves after learning about the obituary, avoiding sharing anything personal about Sue. Jordy and Delilah go golfing, where Delilah apologizes for being harsh with him and admits Whit is considering separation. She confesses she doesn't have an identity outside her marriage, and Jordy encourages her to believe she deserves more than that. Charlie later talks to Sam after a run and brings up Percy, warning him not to get pulled back into the past. Sam becomes defensive, but Charlie insists he should let things go instead of reopening old wounds. Chantal prepares to leave and asks Percy to answer a call from her mother. Percy mentions things with Sam are improving, but Chantal reminds her Sam has a girlfriend. She then discovers her passport has expired and cannot leave Canada, forcing her to ask Percy for Charlie's help. A flashback shows a storm in 2013 knocking out power in Barry's Bay. Percy, scared while watching a horror film alone, goes to Sam's house. He comforts her, gives her dry clothes, and lets her sleep in his bed while he takes the floor, showing how close they once were. In the present, Charlie and Delilah hook up at the restaurant, but Chantal interrupts, asking for help. Delilah abruptly ends things and asks Charlie to take her away. During the drive, Charlie criticizes Chantal for trying to control everything in her relationship with Drew and tells her she is making things harder for herself. Percy later shows Sam the completed obituary. He hugs her, and they share a brief moment before pulling apart. Percy goes to the lake to swim, and Sam suggests she use the pier and change in his room. In Sam's room, Percy is flooded with memories of the night during the storm when Sam let her sleep there. Flashbacks show her waking up beside him, only for Charlie to tease Sam about it the next morning, making Sam quickly deny anything romantic, which hurt Percy and created distance between them. Back in the present, Percy and Sam swim and race to the raft. They talk, and Sam reveals he is making pierogies for Sue's memorial. Percy says Sue taught her the recipe and offers to help. Meanwhile, Charlie's truck breaks down, and Chantal urges him to call for help, but he refuses. Another flashback shows a bonfire where Delilah pushes Percy to dress up, and Sam introduces her and Delilah to Jordy. Small comments and shifting attractions create tension as Delilah shifts interest toward Charlie, Jordy connects with her, and Percy and Sam feel jealousy over each other. Percy kisses someone else after Sam mentions taking a girl to spring fling, and Sam later admits he was jealous but feared losing their friendship. Percy promises nothing will change. In the present, Percy joins Sam in the kitchen wearing a sundress, helping him make pierogies. He compliments her and helps tie her apron, their closeness returning until Delilah interrupts again. After Percy leaves, Delilah reminds Sam about Taylor, but Sam admits that, when Percy is around, he forgets everything else. Elsewhere, Percy calls Chantal in tears after being told she must attend the reading of Sue's will the next morning. Next, Sam and Charlie prepares for Sue's will reading. The brothers share a quiet moment reflecting on their mother, and Sam admits that Sue's death is only now starting to feel real. Charlie remains guarded, but the weight of the loss hangs between them. At the same time, Percy is unsettled after learning she has been included in Sue's will. She tells Chantal about her near kiss with Sam and how Delilah interrupted it, still trying to process what it means. When it is time for the reading, Percy attends with Chantal acting as her legal aid, unsure of what she is walking into. At the Florek house, Sam and Charlie are shocked to see Percy present. The lawyer reveals that Sue has divided her estate between her sons, but has recently made a final request. The tavern is to be left to Percy. Sam is stunned, while Charlie immediately reacts with anger. Percy is just as confused and insists she does not want the restaurant. Chantal steps in, speaking on her behalf and refusing to let her dismiss it so easily. The story shifts back to the summer of 2014, where Percy and Sam go for a run together. Percy struggles to keep up, and Sam slows down for her. They talk about their 3 updates, with Sam revealing he is applying for a hospital internship, while Percy admits she is stuck in writer's block. Afterward, they swim in the lake, slipping back into their familiar rhythm. Following the swim, Percy says she prefers swimming over running, and decides to attempt swimming across the lake. Sam offers to help train her, and over the next days she practices while he follows her in a boat. At night, she tries to write again with a clearer mind. Eventually, Percy completes the swim across the lake, with her family, Sue, and Charlie cheering from the shore as Sam follows closely behind and helps her back in, celebrating her success. Back in the present, Percy tells Chantal she does not want the tavern because she fears Sam will hate her for it. She also questions whether Sue would still have chosen her if she knew the truth about her past. Later, Delilah joins them for drinks and reveals she has been trying to buy the property. She begins outlining plans to turn it into a private lake-focused venture, which immediately unsettles Percy, who opposes the idea of commercializing the place. Percy also learns that her childhood home is being turned into a boathouse. After drinking too much, Percy convinces Chantal and Delilah to help her break into her old house through a window. Inside, the 3 of them drink and talk openly. Percy admits she has not loved anyone since Sam. Delilah reveals she and Whit are separated, while Chantal confesses she no longer wants to marry Drew and feels trapped taking care of him. Percy later finds her old writing and is shaken by how much she has changed. Meanwhile, Sam meets Charlie at the tavern, and the brothers discuss Sue's decision. Charlie reveals Delilah's interest in buying the place. As they talk about their mother, Charlie also reminds Sam how much Sue struggled after their father's death and how much responsibility he took on. Sam realizes Charlie sacrificed more than he understood. A flashback to 2014 shows Sam studying while Percy tries to write, playfully distracting him. Their flirtation grows until they begin a relationship. Later, Sue speaks to them about safe sex and protecting their friendship, which makes Sam anxious. He later tells Percy he is worried about long distance and does not want to damage what they have. He also says he does not want to stop her from seeing other people. Hurt and confused, Percy breaks down afterward. In the present, police arrive at Percy's old house and arrest her for breaking and entering. Sam bails her out, but she lashes out at him, accusing him of sending mixed signals and not knowing what he wants. Sam admits he was confused and apologizes. Later, Percy calls her father for guidance. He recalls Sue fondly and encourages her to think carefully. After reading one of her old stories, Percy decides to keep the tavern, believing it is what Sue truly wanted for her. Meanwhile, Sam tells Charlie he trusts him and agreeing to contest Sue's will to try to reclaim the tavern from Percy. Next morning, Sam wakes up from a vivid dream where he and Percy kiss in the tavern's kitchen. In the dream, Percy mentions that Sue left the restaurant to her, and the thought leaves Sam unsettled. Later, he tells Jordy that he has decided to propose to Taylor. Jordy questions whether this decision is really about commitment or if Percy's return is pushing him toward it, but Sam refuses to admit it. Charlie supports the plan and insists Taylor is the right choice. Flashbacks return to New Year's Eve in 2015. Delilah encourages Percy to show off her new boyfriend, Mason, in front of Sam after their breakup. Percy goes along with it and introduces Mason around the tavern. When Sam arrives, his jealousy becomes obvious. He interrupts their conversations and starts talking about Percy's dreams and interests, as if he knows her better than anyone. Percy calls him out and reminds him that he ended things. Sam admits seeing her with someone else changed how he feels, but Percy refuses to take him back because of jealousy and kisses Mason instead. Elsewhere, Charlie's attempts to connect with Delilah fail until Jordy shares a midnight kiss with her. Back in the present, Chantal discusses Sue's will with Percy, who finally admits she wants Sam to choose her. When Geordie accidentally reveals Sam plans to propose, Percy is shaken and leaves to clear her mind. Another flashback shows Percy returning for the summer and learning Sam is dating his coworker, Lake. Determined not to lose him, Percy starts working at the tavern. Instead of helping, being close to Sam only makes things harder. During one shift, they joke around while washing dishes and briefly fall into old chemistry before Lake interrupts. In the present, Drew and Jake arrive unexpectedly. Chantal grows frustrated taking care of Drew, while Percy tries and fails to distract herself by moving closer to Jake. At the same time, Taylor returns and suggests Sue may have wanted Sam and Percy back together, but Sam insists his future is with Taylor. Tension rises elsewhere as Charlie and Delilah discuss their complicated history. Percy later discovers their affair, and Charlie nearly reveals a secret from 10 years ago before Percy stops him. Charlie argues Sue would never have left the restaurant to Percy if she knew the truth. Later, Sam prepares to propose but cannot do it. Chantal finally tells Drew she is tired of always being the caretaker. Geordie quietly supports her and begins getting closer to her. By the lake, Percy remembers learning in 2015 that Lake broke up with Sam because she believed he still loved Percy. Soon after, Sam finds Percy and admits he could not propose because his feelings for her never disappeared. As he asks for another chance, Percy realizes she can no longer keep the truth hidden. She finally tells Sam the truth about what happened years earlier. She slept with Charlie. The confession completely breaks him. Sam says he could expect something reckless from Charlie, but never from Percy. Unable to process it, he walks away and leaves her behind while she desperately tries reaching Charlie. Flashbacks return to summer 2015 when Sam and Percy are together and working at the tavern. Their relationship becomes more serious, and Sam brings up taking the next step physically. Percy asks for more time, and Sam respects her decision. Later, Percy tells him she feels ready, and they begin planning a special night together. Back in the present, Charlie confronts Sam and tells him to blame him instead of Percy. Sam refuses. He accuses Charlie of dragging people into his chaos and says he wants nothing to do with him anymore. He even refuses to collect Sue's ashes together and makes it clear their relationship is broken. Elsewhere, Delilah learns that Whit is forcing her out of the summer house. Percy supports her while keeping Sam's situation private. Chantal, who is spending time fishing with Geordie, offers legal advice when Whit's assistant arrives and reveals Delilah violated a clause in her prenup. Realizing Whit has proof, Delilah feels trapped and lashes out at Charlie. Charlie later discovers Sam skipped collecting Sue's ashes and begins searching for him. At the same time, Chantal and Geordie grow closer while talking about past relationships and disappointments. Another flashback reveals that before Sam and Percy's planned night together, Delilah quietly struggles with a secret. Percy excitedly talks about her future with Sam without noticing Delilah's distress. Afterward, Delilah is shown alone holding a positive pregnancy test before Geordie comforts her. In the present, Delilah moves into the motel. Charlie eventually finds Sam at a bar, where emotions boil over. Old resentment surfaces, arguments explode, and a fight breaks out before everyone manages to drag Sam outside. Later, Charlie admits to Chantal that one impulsive mistake changed everything. Chantal and Geordie realize they may be heading towards similar choices. Back in 2015, Geordie interrupts Sam and Percy to reveal Delilah's pregnancy. Percy immediately supports her friend. That night, Percy returns to Sam, and the two finally share the moment they had been planning, feeling closer afterward. As the present timeline continues, Geordie checks on Delilah and shows unexpected kindness to Percy. Meanwhile, Chantal admits to Drew that her feelings and priorities have changed since returning to Barry's Bay. Meanwhile, Charlie helps Sam home and apologizes again, but Sam gives no response. Next morning, Charlie confronts Percy after Sam learns the truth. Angry and hurt, Charlie blames her for destroying what remained of his relationship with his brother and tells her she should leave Barry's Bay and return to Seattle. The story then shifts to summer 2016. Percy joins Sam and Charlie for a day on their father's old motorboat. Charlie proudly claims he repaired it, but the trip quickly falls apart when the boat breaks down. Later, Percy talks privately with Sam and tells him she imagines spending one last carefree summer together before college changes everything. Sam then reveals that he has been accepted into a summer-intensive program and will be away for most of the season. Percy feels blindsided and accuses him of letting her make plans while already knowing he would leave. Even so, the night before his departure, they say goodbye and promise to survive the distance. Back in the present, Percy tells Chantal she is thinking about skipping the funeral and leaving town. Their conversation turns to Geordie, and Chantal admits she has feelings for him, but is unsure what to do. Percy warns her not to make emotional decisions she may regret. Chantal instead encourages Percy to face Charlie before walking away. At the same time, Sam quietly begins separating himself from Charlie. When Charlie attempts to discuss funeral arrangements, Sam reveals he plans to move out and leaves the conversation. Another flashback shows Percy struggling after Sam leaves. She tries staying connected through calls and online dates, but Sam becomes increasingly distracted and unavailable. Feeling lonely, she spends more time with Charlie around the boathouse and the tavern. Charlie tells her Sam tends to withdraw whenever life becomes difficult. In the present, Percy finds Charlie hiding in the boathouse and follows him inside. By accident, they become trapped in a storage room without their phones. Elsewhere, Chantal, Geordie, and Delilah spend time together at the lake. What starts as a light outing turns emotional when Delilah finally lets herself break down. Inside the boathouse, Percy experiences a panic attack and Charlie helps her through it. The conversation becomes honest for the first time in years. Charlie realizes Percy's panic attacks started after what happened between them and admits blaming her was unfair. Flashbacks continue as Sam eventually ends things through an email, saying distance has become too difficult. Heartbroken, Percy officially ends the relationship and turns to Charlie for support. Hurt and angry, the two make a decision they immediately regret. Back in the present, Charlie admits jealousy played a role in everything and says he stayed away afterward because of guilt. Percy finally reveals how deeply the aftermath affected her and confesses she once took a handful of pills because she wanted to escape the shame and pain. She explains her parents became worried and eventually sold the summer house. Charlie encourages her to stop punishing herself and embraces her. At that exact moment, Sam arrives and finds them together once again. Charlie asks Sam to pick up Sue's family from the airport, but the meeting quickly turns tense. The brothers argue, with Charlie insisting nothing happened between him and Percy at the boathouse, though the damage between them already feels irreversible. The story shifts into the summer of 2016, revealing what followed Percy and Charlie's past. After sleeping with Charlie, Percy quits her job at the tavern. She learns from Sue that Charlie has left Barry's Bay for good. Still reeling from her breakup with Sam, Percy spends time with Sue, who unexpectedly becomes a steady presence in her life. Sue opens up about her own grief after losing Sam and Charlie's father, admitting she has learned to live with it rather than escape it. She encourages Percy to trust herself and face her emotions instead of avoiding them. When Sam returns from his training program, he tells Percy he misses her and wants to reconnect. Overwhelmed by guilt over what happened with Charlie, Percy cannot bring herself to return to him. She ends things with Sam for good, choosing to step away rather than continue hurting him. In the present, Percy reaches out to Delilah and apologizes for shutting her out over the years because of her shame. She decides to help prepare the memorial at the restaurant as a way to honor Sue and make amends. Chantal and Geordie confront their growing tension. Chantal insists she is not a cheater, but admits she is developing feelings for Geordie and feels conflicted about Drew. Geordie reassures her, while also admitting he is intrigued by her despite her engagement. Sam later questions Geordie about whether he intends to act on his feelings and if he is truly over Delilah. Sam goes to the restaurant expecting Delilah, but finds Percy instead, dressed in Sue's tiara and tutu. Percy shares memories of Sue, revealing details Sam never knew, including Sue's dislike for pierogies and her love of breakfast-style meals. Sam realizes how much of his mother he never truly understood. Percy encourages him to include her in the memorial. As preparations continue, Percy cooks food Sue loved while reflecting on her summer with her. At the memorial, Sam gives an emotional speech about losing his mother and breaks down. Charlie and Geordie support him, and Charlie also speaks in Sue's honor. Later, the group gathers at the restaurant as grief and memories settle in. Geordie and Chantal grow closer as they dance, while Sam watches Percy from a distance. Geordie eventually asks Chantal to be with him, and she agrees. That night, Sam asks Percy why she returned. She admits she never stopped loving him and wanted to stay close in some way. They share a final night together, but Sam tells her he wants to forgive her yet cannot fully let go of the past. The next morning, Percy and Chantal leave Barry's Bay for Seattle. Percy resumes her writing life, while Sam focuses on his residency and Charlie returns to his work. Percy later gets one of her stories published, and Sam reads it, deeply affected. He sends her the keys to the restaurant, believing Sue would have wanted her to have them. With Delilah's help, Percy restores and reopens the restaurant. Chantal and Geordie begin exploring their relationship openly. Meanwhile, Charlie's life takes a sharp turn when he notices an old photograph of himself, Sam, and Percy in his boss Greg's office, leading him to a sudden realization about what he has lost.